All right, welcome back to Terrible at Fishing. So we are going to talk about rod shopping. Fishing rod shopping. Oh my goodness. Believe me, it can be maddening. So let's watch my intro. Oh, fishing rods. I know I've done videos on this. But you guys, I love light tackle, so Cajun custom rods, best light tackle rods, and best company I've ever run across in their trigger series. And so they do not make an extra heavy rod. And so I have to do rod shopping for extra heavy, something that can handle a 2, 3, 4 ounce bait. This is really frustrating. I love American made, but I am a poor man. So I gotta shop within reason. And it'd be nice to pop out $500 for or $400 or $300 for a new rod. And to me, one of the most important things is customer service. I fish more than the average person. It's just what I do. In the fishing season, I do. And rods break. Don't know why. I've got this Gary Loomis rod, paid the most I've ever paid for a rod. And one of the guide inserts I noticed this last time I was out was gone. Not deformed, nothing, just disappeared. Customer service is really, really, really important. Warranties. And what I did notice, a friend of mine's got a Trica, and it's fantastic. I mean, I casted with it on Friday, and it was just really a nice rod. So I went to Trica. $300 or $200 depending on which model, but $300 for extra heavy. And their warranty sucks. This is terrible. Basically, you're paying half or a third or a half of the cost of the rod for them to replace it. Well, that's not a warranty. That's a deductible, is what that is. So, even though it's a great rod, all rods will have problems in time. And I'm not going to give them $100 or more to stand up and stand behind their product. Cajun, they don't do that. I think it's shipping $25. That's reasonable. Pay for the shipping for the new rod, and they're very good at making you a new rod and making sure it's good again. So I'm looking for a custom or an extra heavy 1 to 4 ounce, 1 to 5 ounce casting rod. The bait is that heavy. So I'm going online and I'm watching videos, I'm reading reviews. I'm doing my due diligence just like I usually do. And again, warranty, customer service. This is really important to a guy like me. And it will be if you ever have a problem. So I think I've made a decision. You'll see in a future video. But I'm very impressed with that Abu Garcia Max Pro. This one. This reel is, for $70-$80, you can't get better than this, I don't think. This is a fantastic reel. I'm shocked that I like an Abu. I learned on an Abu bait caster. Boy, I had a headache on that one. I didn't know how to do bait casting. It just looked like a cool reel, so I bought it. But what you want is in bass fishing, we have huge lures, we have very small lures, and we have everything in between. So we have all these rods that can cast certain weights of um, our baits. And the sensitivity of the rod, the action, the backbone, all these things have to do, how it loads up and casts. All these things have everything to do with the enjoyment of fishing, besides it not breaking. Very important. But finding a rod is very, very difficult. Now, for the most part, I would just tell you guys to go to Cajun Rods. And you will never have a problem with the company. You just won't. They are a first class company. They're in Cleveland, Ohio. They make their rods. I had a problem with one of their rods, and they went back to the drawing board on it. They looked at their material to make sure it wasn't defective. Looked at the cooking process. Looked at everything, and then tested the rod, and then made sure that it was perfect. What company do you know of that will do that for you? Free. They didn't charge me. I want you to realize that, the companies I do recommend, they're pretty good. Companies are. Even if their products may have a flaw in it, doesn't matter. They'll take care of it. Because every rod is capable of breaking. Now, if you buy an ugly stick, that thing's near impervious, but you can still lose guides. You can still do, stuff like that. But I really care about the accuracy, the load, the backbone, the action. Um, all these things are, as you fish more and more, you become more sensitive to these things. Now, as a casual fisherman, you could probably just buy an ugly stick, maybe an ugly stick carbon, which my co-host just absolutely loves. And so, but for the casual fisherman, you could do something like that. I'm not a casual fisherman. I make baits. I need to feel the bait. I need to throw the bait. I need to hook set. I need to feel everything. And that's very important to me. So, as I go on this little journey of finding an extra heavy rod without being a heavy rod, because, throwing a 4-ounce bait is tiresome. It really is. It's a lot of weight. A lot of weight. You want a rod that will allow you to fish for more than 10 minutes. But that's what, that's basically, if I could tell you guys, to pick a rod company first, and then pick the rod. And, iRod is down in Thousand Oaks, which is where I used to work. iRod is actually a company I'm looking at. And, man, if I knew they were there, I would have just drove down the street and checked them out. Because I used to manage a store in Woodland Hills. And that's just a few miles from Thousand Oaks. Would have been really nice to go check them out. Man, missed opportunities. That's all that is. And I really don't have any rod making companies around here in Klamath Falls. But Edge is 5.5 hours away. And I do have a rod with an insert that's out. Their customer service isn't very good. But I'll give them a call this week. See what they say. I don't understand how that insert disappeared, to be honest. There's no deformity to the guide. It just is not there. when I restrung it, it must have been on the string and I didn't know it. And maybe it's down here someplace. I don't know. This is like purgatory, my carpet. I can't find anything on there. It drops down there and it goes into a black hole. So, by shopping for a rod, I feel your pain. I really do. But you want to make sure that your rod is capable of throwing the weights that you're putting on it, and make sure that you don't overload the rod. And those weights, recommendations on your blank, just above your grips, they're there for a reason. So, yeah, I'm kind of a bipolar fisherman. I like ultralight, and now that I'm making swim baits, I'm tossing a lot of swim baits, and it's I don't want to break my rod. I just don't want to break. I can't. There are some swim baits that I have that I've never thrown because they're just too heavy for the rods that I have. Just too heavy, and I don't want to damage my rods. But I will be. I'm looking. I'm looking. I do love this Abu Max Pro though. It's a great rod. I mean that reel. I use that on my Atlet Heavy, and it is absolutely, well, impressive. Extremely impressive for this reel. I don't understand why I'm trying to find something wrong with it besides being white, pearl white, because that'll get dirty. And but other than pearl white, I like the 7-to-1 gear ratio on it. It's great for big baits. It's sort of in the middle, between 6-to-1 and 8-to-1. 7-to-1's nice in the middle, and this thing, your bait will hit the water and it still won't backlash, thumb free, and which is impressive for a magnetic braking system. But it's a really good reel. Again, pearl white, it's beautiful until it gets dirty, I guess, because your hands are on this thing. It's a nice low profile, and you're just cupping it all day long. But I would definitely recommend the Abu Garcia Max Pro. They used to be called a Pro Max, but they got a new. It's been updated and it's called a Max Pro, and so they switched it. It's a beautiful reel. It really is a beautiful reel. Very clean. At least new it is. You can just wipe it down every once in a while. But you know what? When I get this new rod, you guys will see it, and I will. We'll do a little review of it on the lake. You gotta. It's frustrating, isn't it? Isn't it frustrating? Now, for most of your needs, just go to Cajun Rods. I don't think you'll ever be upset with the company at all. Cajun Rods will always take care of their customers. Even if you have an issue with the rod, which, it's happened a few times, and they've taken care of me, and they make their rods, they make their blanks, they wrap them in mandrel, they cook it, they put everything, that's good. It's really good. So I just can't recommend a company more than Cajun. As for this extra heavy rod, it'll be affordable, but it will be tough, I hope. Fortunately, I don't throw a lot of heavy weights, so it's probably going to be one of my least used rods in my quiver, but it's a necessary rod in my quiver. So it'll be interesting how long this lasts. And, iRod actually has a lifetime warranty. You just pay the shipping, just like Cajun. So, I'm picking companies. But you go to Daiwa, you go to Shimano, you go to all these other companies, St. Croix, Um, I don't like Leviathan because Gary Loomis bought them, and I don't like. I've been unhappy with Gary Loomis as a company, um, and not real impressed with their rods. So, and Trika, too expensive. The deductible's just too much uh, for um, for me to fork out that much money and pay a deductible. Every time my rod has an issue. So, I'll keep you guys informed on these things. But the right now, I think iRod as a company, I wish they were. I wish when I was in Woodland Hills, I knew they were in Thousand Oaks. I would have totally visited them. I would have done it on my lunch break. I was the boss. I could have taken a long lunch. It happens. I was a working boss. I mean, yeah, I didn't take lunches. I mean, I was always on the floor. So, anyway, we have started something here, and um, keep an ear out for my radio shows. And I am making some baits. I've sent some to some friends. Really nice little baby bass here, whopper plopper. The lakes are going to invert next month, and the bass are understanding it. Oh, I also got a bunch of swim spoons. Um, so I'm going to paint these spoons and get them all looking pretty. These are going to look so pretty, and we'll get these spoons designed because something that my co-host, he fishes spoons almost, so we got to make sure that Ken gets yeah, I got to do some Ken spoons. We got spoons. Anyway, you guys take care. I wish you only the best, and remember, um, see something, say something, in order to save a life, and the um, do the right thing, guys, gals, because not too many people do that. They just don't. So look at my latest videos and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So take care, everybody.